Welcome to the newest installment of the Untitled Film Nerd Project. My name is Philip, and joining me as always is Teacher.
Hello.
We march on in the home stretch of our 5th annual 31 Days of Horror, where we watch a different horror movie every single night in October. We're on October 28th, and our movie was Elizabeth Harvest. Before we get into it, spoiler warning now! If you want to avoid spoilers, skip ahead to the time code you see on the screen. Let's get right into cast and crew rundown. This was written and directed by Sebastian Gutierrez. He has written Gothica, Snakes on a Plane, and The Eye. He has written and directed Rise, Bloodhunter, Girl Walks Into a Bar, and Hotel Noir. Elizabeth was Abby Lee. She is a model turned actress. She was in Mad Max Fury Road, which was her second ever movie, and she was the Dag in that. She was in Neon Demon as Sarah. She's been in The Dark Tower as Tirana, and she was in Gods of Egypt as Anat.
Oh.
Henry was Kieran Hines. He was the voice of Steppenwolf in Justice League. He was in Game of Thrones as Mance Rayder. He was in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows as Aberforth Dumbledore. He's been in tons of movies like In Bruges, There Will Be Blood, Tomb Raider, Cradle of Life, etc., 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 etc. I recognized him immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Claire was Carla Gugino. She was in The Watchmen as Sally Jupiter, aka Silk Spectre. She is in Gerald's Game, Haunting of Hill House, which is coming up for us.
Mm-hmm.
San Andreas, Sin City as Lucille, Sucker Punch as Dr. Vera Gorski, and pretty much all of Sebastian Gutierrez's movies. She's a regular for him. Oliver was Matthew Beard. He's been in some high-profile stuff, but the only thing I really recognized was The Imitation Game, and he played Peter Hilton in that. And then I recognized immediately, of course, was Logan, who was Dylan Baker, he had the iconic role in the movie Happiness, and that's all I ever see, his character in Happiness.
For me, wasn't he in Pleasantville?
Oh, maybe. I didn't go back that far.
Yeah, I think he was in that.
He's also been in Trick or Treat, Across the Universe, Spider-Man 2 and 3, The Cell, etc., 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 etc. He's been in tons of movies, but he will always be the creepy character in Happiness because he played it to a T. All right, that is cast and crew. Unless you have anyone else to add?
No, I think that was literally everybody.
Let's get into our initial thoughts. I fucking love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely loved this movie. It was interesting to see that Abby Lee was a Neon Demon because it reminded me so much of Neon Demon.
Mm-hmm.
But like mixed with kind of like a Stepford Wives kind of thing. This is one of those movies where I've said before where I wouldn't be surprised if Sebastian also edited it, just because everything was done purposefully.
Mm-hmm.
It was shot purposefully. It was edited purposefully. What I think Mandy failed at, as far as trying to use lighting and really crazy colors, Elizabeth Harvest nailed. They used reds and blues and greens, and it was on purpose. They were telling a story. And when it ended, I watched it with a friend. I rarely use this word to describe a movie I watched, but I turned to him and I said, "This was exquisite."
Mm-hmm.
Because to me it was just absolutely beautiful. The story was amazing. It was told in a way that a lot of movies aren't told.
Mm-hmm.
We got 40 minutes in and I'm like, oh, the end. I was like, oh, it's over now. But then we get the backstory as the end story, which I thought was really cool. So
Yeah, it was done in two completely different narratives.
yeah. And I thought that was really, really interesting and intriguing and kind of ballsy, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because this easily could not have worked. And for me personally, I thought it was just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I concur with all that. I loved the shit out of it. You know how I am about color palettes.
Yeah.
And this definitely hit the mark on the color palette. To me, I would describe it as possibly one of the first sci-fi Hitchcockian tales I've ever seen.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, and not even for the use of the story, but as you brought up, the editing and the cinematography, it was so on purpose.
Yeah, now you say that, I can definitely see Hitchcock in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Just especially some of those shots of her running away from Henry were so Hitchcock. So yeah, good call.
The acting was on par.
Mm-hmm.
The music was good. However, I will bring that up again when it comes to Mediocre.
Okay.
But yeah, this was highly entertaining.
You want to get to our breakdowns?
Yes.
What was your favorite scene?
For me, it wasn't so much a scene. I kind of brought it up earlier. Just all those gorgeous shots with the
Mm-hmm.
reds and the blues, and you even brought it up. I think my favorite one out of all of them was when she was running in the forest.
Yes. One of my favorites was when she ran and she came upon her open grave,
Hmm.
and it was like all red, and then there's that close up of her face into the camera, and it was just or the one where she's running away down the street and it's raining, I think, and the cop guy picks
Hmm.
her up. That was also in a red palette. There was the green palette when the doctor guy was talking. There was a blue palette at another point.
Yeah, and that was for Carla. Carla's were always in blue.
Yeah, so each character had their own color palette, and it was really freaking cool.
I think the only one that didn't was Oliver, and that may be because he was blind.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. But again, it's fucking brilliant.
Hmm.
Like you don't give the blind guy a color palette because he wouldn't be able to see. It's just like, awesome. Just wow. I actually concur 100%. I don't have a favorite scene per se because it was just the shots
Hmm.
were the star of this movie, and there's just way too many to even mention. I mean, it could be from little things like the color palette to just angles that they took, or
Hmm.
they did a split screen effect
Oh, I loved that.
during the chase scene. And well, they did it twice. First time they did it during the chase scene. It worked. It was so, yeah, because you saw his perspective and her perspective. You see her in the kitchen double fisting two knives, which I thought was fucking awesome.
Hmm.
And he's, playing piano, trying to lure her out. So it's not favorite scene for us. It's just, again, like kind of favorite moments, but just more favorite shots.
Yeah.
Because this movie was just beautiful. And yeah. All right. What is your holy shit moment?
Holy shit moment is probably gonna be when she killed him.
Okay.
And you have the beauty of the fact that you never saw the trailer. I saw the trailer, so I was already
Oh.
able to deduce some of what was going on.
Oh, that
However,
sucks.
how the story still played out, it still had me at a loss because
Okay.
I still wasn't expecting her to die.
Right. Yeah.
But when she came back, when they
Yeah.
repeated the beginning again, I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, okay. But then when he died and it was the halfway mark, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, I have no idea what the hell they're going to do now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. I have a few. Him dying was one. Also, there's just a gorgeous shot of her on the top of the steps and Henry walking in. It's just their silhouettes, and then his arm comes out and you see the machete in his hand.
Hmm.
Gorgeous shot, and I was like, oh shit, because then it got real, and then there was an awesome chasing.
Oh, and one more holy shit moment for me is when the reveal came out that his experiment to bring his dead wife back turned into him just wanting to kill her over and over again.
His monologue at the end for that was
Uh-huh.
fucking amazing. One thing we haven't touched on yet is the dialogue was so fucking good.
Yeah, and I have a favorite line.
Oh, I have several. I have a bunch written down. I said, kind of holy shit when Oliver killed the detective guy.
Hmm.
And then I liked, did I get him? I was like, that's awesome. And then the biggest holy shit for me, though, was finding out that Oliver was actually Henry. I was just like, what? He fucking, okay, whatever. Whatever movie. It was kind of like Housewife. I'm like, okay, movie, whatever you say.
I was suspecting it,
I was not.
but then, they said that, he was the son of the dead wife, and then I was like, okay, well, that explains that. And because then for a while I was like, you need to stop hitting on the clone of your dead mom.
Yeah, there's some real Oedipus stuff going on there.
Uh-huh. But then it wasn't, so.
Yeah, I was just like, what? Holy crap. Okay, movie, you got me. You got me.
Hmm.
All right, now I'm interested in this. What is your mediocre moment?
Mediocre moment is just when it came to some of the music at the beginning, it was so loud,
Okay.
it was overpowering dialogue.
Okay. Okay.
And there is just times where I'm just like, I have no idea what the hell they just said to each other.
All right.
But I don't know if I got used to it as the movie was going, or they just did it less.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't notice that at all, actually. Mine isn't actually in the movie. My mediocre thing is the title of the movie.
Hmm.
The title of the movie gave away the fucking movie.
Hmm.
I kind of knew what it was about going into it. Like, what else can Elizabeth Harvest be about? other than him harvesting her over and over. So while it's a cool fucking title, it's really fucking spoilery.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm glad you revealed it, movie, a half hour in, 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like to be surprised. So, maybe don't name your movie so spoilery. All right, if any, LOL moment.
It was when the Henry was talking to the cop.
Mm-hmm.
And Henry had said, you can either be the torturer or the tortured. It's better to be the torturer.
Mm-hmm.
And the cop's like, well, aren't you just a ray of fucking sunshine?
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of mine as well. I jumped the gun on mine as well when Oliver said, did I get him? Because it just made me laugh. Because he said it twice. Because he shot in the direction of him and got him, and it was funny. Just the way he said it.
Mm-hmm.
Another LOL moment I had was when Oliver says to her, quid pro quo. Do you know what that means? I don't think you do. It's Latin. Then she says, is it Latin for fuck off? I was like, yes. So awesome. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Like, I know you're going to bring up favorite lines in your notes, but my favorite line is one that Carla spoke. We're all destined to become a tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that. That reminded me of your favorite line from Annihilation.
Oh, yeah. How humans are doomed to be destructive or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it.
Go to my notes.
Yes.
Philip's notes are 5 pages long. I think this ties Mandy with the longest number of pages for notes for the month so far. At first I was like, why is Oliver acting so weird? Oh, he's blind. Because he was acting really odd. I was like, why is he? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I said that Henry needed to call his house the panty dropper. Because damn.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep with you, but I'll put on panties and just look, what? How these get on the floor? Take me to your wine cellar. I theorized that Oliver peeked into the off-limits room and Henry blinded him because of it. That's not what happened, but I was, hypothesizing. And then you can't say don't go in that room and then not expect her to want to go in that room. Which was the point at the end. But this is in the beginning. And then I thought, what if a version of her just didn't? Because clearly Elizabeth number 2 that we saw was fucking awesome.
I was waiting for a version to call him out on his shit. It's like, oh, don't go in this room? Why the fuck did you tell me that?
Yeah.
You can obviously afford to put up a secret door.
Yeah, you could blend it in with the wall. Then I kind of laughed. I was like, damn, she's getting nosy like 10 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
I said the reveal was very early with the bodies. And then I said, he's going to know you were in there. This is all me not knowing that it was the point, of course. Me thinking that, you're going to get caught and then so soon was weird to me at the time. And then again, a lot of my notes are just not understanding that it was all part of his game. Because when they were sitting at the piano together, when he came back home for the first one, she was all like, I don't want to look at you, and I'm sitting on the piano, and I'm acting all weird. Then he says to her, the only measure of an action is its consequence. Such a good line. I wrote, holy shit, dude is stalking her with a machete. So the plot is moving very fast for almost 2 hours long. And then he sits down on the couch, and I'm like, yeah, why chase her around when she's locked in? Just let her come to you. And then, chop, chop, chop. I wrote, well, the end? Question mark. And then there was that scene at the table where it was Carla and Henry and Oliver together after the day after. Oliver and Henry, because Carla had left by this point because she was just like, I can't do this anymore. And Oliver they're having that weird discussion about eggs being kind of like the human soul. And I was like, damn, Oliver's getting all knowledge sassy.
Yeah.
I was like, go you. Which makes sense now that we know who and what he is. And then you said it earlier, but you can either torture or be tortured. There is no third alternative. Better to be the torturer. Such a good line. If there was an ouch moment, like ouch, it would have been, I made you something. Stop making me things. That would be nice. Aww. Poor Oliver brought her some flowers.
But then we also found out what he didn't know that she knew.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it made sense. At the time, I was like, "Aw." Later on, I was like, "Okay, yeah, you're right. Go, Carla." Carla won. She won the fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
She got like the money and the estate and the house and everything. I liked the line that Oliver said to Carla, "We're not the prize, we're the bait."
Yes.
That was an awesome line. And then later on, she was making out with a mirror, and I thought that was some heavy-handed symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of an LL moment for me. I was like, okay,
But also a good shot.
yeah, oh yeah. I also like the line he says to her before their quote unquote final battle. Henry says, "I was thinking about patterns. You can predict how a person will react. You can control them."
Mm-hmm.
Awesome line.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I said some stuff I've already said. Is he strangling version number? Question mark. Who knows? Wrote this one fights back, and it's smarter because she tried to use the chair to break the window. I liked that. So yes, awesome. Version 2 was smart.
And dual wielding.
Yeah, it's just, I got that next. We got the split screen with her double fisting the knives. I wrote awesome. The nice piano fake out where he plays the melody of the piano and then puts it onto the record. So clever.
Mm-hmm.
But then maybe possibly mediocre. Would that one stab kill him though?
I guess depending on where she got him.
I know, it just didn't look like it was in a bad place. It was just in the upper back on the right side, so I don't know.
I mean, it could have hit an artery, or it could have just he bled out.
Yeah, I know, but it just seemed like it was such a small knife. So, possibly. And then what you were saying, like after he got killed, cleans everything, burns the evidence. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
So I liked when Oliver and Carla, aka Claire, I'll go back and forth between her real name and her. They're so fucking similar. But when Claire and Oliver come in and she says, "Good morning," or whatever, the shock on their faces that she's still alive was awesome. Find out that apparently she's Elizabeth number 5 of the Elizabeth Harvest. Like, damn. And then Oliver drops the knowledge onto her. You know, he killed all of you. That's what he lives for. And then we find out that the cop was on the payroll before we see the flashback, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go 5 years ago. We get the Claire backstory. Elizabeth died after childbirth, supposedly. She had Werner's syndrome. Henry brought Claire in because of her knowledge of the medical field to help cure Elizabeth, while cloning her. Claire fixes it, but we find out that Henry had been purposely botching it to do his crazy shit. And then we get like a nice backstory of the evolution of her mind. She had amnesia, and then she was disoriented. I like that scene a lot, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that scene where she's like ready to pounce as he's out on the outside of the door.
Yes.
With the food. And she's just like ready. I got a nice screenshot of it. I'm going to put it up now. Of her pouncing on him. Kudos to the actor, Oliver, for not flinching. She tackles him. He just stands perfectly still holding the tray. I got a good shot of it. It looks fucking awesome. And then I was like, "Aw, he made you a nice supper." It was all over the floor. I felt bad. It's like, aw.
That's why we can't have nice things.
This is how we get ants, Elizabeth. Do you want ants? This is how we get ants. Then I wrote, "Please don't kill Oliver. He just seems so the victim." Then we got a random-ass nudie scene in the grave with Claire and Elizabeth. So...
Oh, and that's another thing I meant to bring up. Seldom do I see where nudity is shot so well.
Yeah, yeah.
So many of the nude shots, it was just like, damn, that's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it was artistic, not gratuitous.
Mm-hmm.
So, holy shit, the dude blinded his own son. Apparently, at the time, we thought that it was his son, so he blinded himself for liking the woman that he already liked. Boosh! You know that what's that fucking show called with the two dudes?
That meme where
his head's just exploding. It's like boosh, boosh. That was like, what? Like, this is so much mindfuckery. And I was like, wait, if she was there till she was 8 and she gave birth to Oliver, since it's her that died after the childbirth, then why is Oliver upset that he touched Elizabeth? And how were they? Oh, fuck, never mind, whatever. Then a line is said, "We are defined by the choices we make." I wrote, "Ain't that the fucking truth?"
Mm-hmm.
And then I wrote, "Holy shit, Oliver's younger dude, but doesn't know it, and he was jealous of himself." Boosh, 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 mind blown. Like, what? Elizabeth's all trying to be all sexy, like, "Come sit next to me and feel my vagina." And I'm like, "Don't fall for it, Oliver. No." And then finally, hello, missing Elizabeth. Where the fuck have you been? I understand now where she was, but at the time I was like, where the fuck are you? I wrote after that, "No, poor Oliver."
Which I guess it goes to show that each version of Elizabeth was getting better and better because
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Elizabeth number six, she had this, the smarts to grab a famous painting so that she could sell it, and
Yeah, yeah. I wrote about something about that too. I liked that when number 6 shot at Oliver and number 5, the shot went through Oliver and hit her because that's what
hmm
would fucking happen. So we didn't have almost literal plot armor with Oliver. So she got shot too. I like that. If she gets shot, she goes outside. Number 5 does. She gets shot again by number 6. And then she whispers to her, I'm assuming to read the journal, which I thought was a nice touch. And then I loved, as I said earlier, I adored Henry's monologue at the end about why he created Elizabeth and it wasn't really his wife. And the only fun he's going to get out of it is destroying her.
hmm
And he says, and I quote, "It was only through the act of destroying them that they finally felt real to me."
hmm
That's just a snippet. There was so much goodness in that monologue. I could not write it down. I couldn't. I would have to pause and pause right. And so yeah, if people plan on seeing this, go just pay attention to that end monologue that Henry says to Claire because it is wonderfully written. And then, as you said, she's like, "I'm leaving, and oh, by the way, this painting is mine."
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then I've said, kind of, this is kind of like when love turns to psychopathy.
hmm
Like, dude kind of went over the edge. And then my friend who watched it with me, we were talking about it after it was over, and he said that what it was to him was a sort of enlightened madness. And I liked that. It's like, yeah, it's just kind of enlightened madness. He's enlightened, but he's still fucking crazy. So yeah, a sort of enlightened madness is perfect. And those are all for my notes. Anything else you'd like to add?
No.
Okay. I want to go to final thoughts.
Final thoughts is good.
All right. See this movie. It's so good.
Yes.
If you like art house, Hitchcock, just mind fuckery, this is so up your alley. This is so up our alley. I finished it, and I like, TJ has to like this fucking movie. He has to. If he doesn't, you have been Stepford-wived. It's like, there's no denying it then. Yeah, this was just, as I said before, exquisite. One of the best movies of this month. And 2 massive thumbs up. I absolutely fucking love this movie.
Agreed. Like I said, as a fan of Hitchcockian horror and sci-fi horror, this met both of those, and yay, big win on that.
I hope the dude stays in horror, because
Yes.
he's got something. All right, well, that takes care of final thoughts. But before we go, as it pertains to Elizabeth Harvest, what did we learn?
I learned that having seen several of the director's previous movies, it's nice to see him evolve and grow up.
Oh, so you've seen his other work?
I've seen some of them, some of the
Okay.
ones that you listed.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen anything, so I had no idea what his other style was like.
hmm
I just learned that if you wake up in a car and she might be the mom to the son of the help, who's the doctor, who's the husband, who is the younger guy, who's the husband, who's the wife of the mother of the son. I don't know. I don't know. Whoosh! All over the screen. That's what I learned. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, yeah. Well, that wraps up day 28, a very enjoyable day 28. Thank you for listening. If you've seen Elizabeth Harvest, tell us what you thought of the movie in the comments below. Did you love it as much as we did? And if you did, what was your favorite scene? If you liked the video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends or cool people who might dig the Vizcast. And please subscribe to the channel, including hitting that notification bell to stay up to date on the newest content. Speaking of, for day 29, we'll be watching the movie Into the Dark. So this is like the monthly movie thing, right?
Yeah, like the series overall is called Into the Dark. The episode that we're watching is going to be called The Body.
Oh, that's right. Yes. And this is like the October version.
Yes.
And then next month will be the November version, etc., etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, this will be a monthly thing for us. So until tomorrow, once again, my name is Philip.
And I'm TJ.
And we'll return then to talk about Into the Dark, The Body. Goodbye.
Bye.